Well, we're starting down here in the workshop today because last time when we were working in the kitchen, I did something really dumb. It was a bad idea. I didn't realize it until a couple of days ago. Yeah, the piece of wood that we took out of that old ventilation duct in the ceiling of the kitchen, it was covered in insulation, and don't forget the starburst wrapper. And yeah, I was really eager to get rid of it, so I threw it away. And I never measured it. So we're going to start down here today and cut a new piece to put that up into the ceiling. That way we can close that hole off, and then we're going to go ahead and keep stripping the wallpaper border off of the walls as well, and that way we get a nice clean fit for the new crown molding. .22 5/8. $10.25. Go all the way back there. 11. 11 will fit there as well. Looks like 11. So now we got the trick. We've got to find a piece of Luan. I've got some small plywood, 22 5/8 by 11 inches. I've got a few choices or a few options here, so let's see what we can find. They're not going to believe it, but I can't believe it. I found a piece that is just shy of 11 inches, 10 3/4. That's close enough to what we need to do. And it's depending on where you measure it, because that cut is really kind of not straight. We can cut about 1 inch to 1.5 inches off that, and we're going to have a piece of Luan that'll fit in there. So we can, all we got to do is cut it down to length. That, I'm surprised that didn't take me more than a couple of minutes to find that. So I'm glad I don't have to wrestle a large piece to get what I need. And I almost cut it wrong. That was close. I was measuring it straight 22 instead of 22 5/8. That would have made a little bit of a difference. Still would have worked, but not nearly as well. So, good thing I caught that before I went cutting. And this doesn't have to be real pretty. It's not structure. And when we get the ceiling done, you won't see it anyway, but it will improve the kitchen ceiling just a hair behind it blocked off. we go. That was all we needed to cut off. And that should slide right up in that hole. We're going to screw it into place. And we've got a nice flat surface to apply our new sealing to. Okay. Oh, I didn't take the old wall into consideration. I measured right past it. Okay. Gotta go take just a little notch out of that. Back to the workshop. So honestly, all we gotta do is take a little notch out of that corner to get past the new wall and the old wall into the stud space behind. And again, it doesn't have to be pretty, but quick little notch like that will get rid of that hole and we'll be good to go. Need a different saw. Go test fit that and see what happens. Another trip to the kitchen. This is the way projects always go around here. Alright. Did I cut the notch large enough? Yep, I did. The board, however, is just a hair long because the hole isn't square. I've got about a board width. I might be able to tweak this a little bit. It ain't pretty. When we get the new ceiling up, nobody will know except for you and me. And I don't think anybody will care either. That's probably the most important part. Nobody will care when the new one's up. is I've been taking some of the red wallpaper off to make sure that our crown molding gets a nice tight fit after the new ceiling goes on. I was exploring this wallpaper right here and noticed that I don't know if you can see the texture in that or not, but that's not your standard wallpaper. That is a fabric. And then we've got the blue-gray check back there. That is a separate paper from the brown scalloping that is behind it. But yeah, that's an interesting wall covering. That's actually fabric right there that has been painted on this side. Looks like it's a tan and blue. Interesting stuff. Gotta get the rest of that out of there. The old wallpaper that's sticking out from above the furring strip. That's gonna be important to get out so that we have a nice fit with the new ceiling and the crown molding, because it's almost a good 1/4 of an inch out from the actual wall, so we don't want to leave that there. And just like that, that long strip of wallpaper is off the wall. That was pretty brittle. Just took... Well, this is pretty cool. This is part of the whimsical wallpaper border, but this is the biggest piece we've found. This is a brand new character that we haven't seen in the past. Baker of some sort. And then this gal, it looks like she's holding a green tumbler. And this cook we've seen before, as well as that baker. Oh, he's got a 16. I wonder what that's all about. And then we've got a gal here who's serving tea. And then we're back to the beginning of the pattern on this end with that baker. So That's pretty cool. That's the biggest single piece of this wallpaper that we have found. Probably the biggest we will find because we're about ready to get the new ceiling up. So I realized that wasn't the most exciting episode with just taking a little bit of wallpaper down and cutting a piece of wood and putting it in the ceiling, but that means we are to the point where we can actually start thinking about buying supplies. I know we need about 5 sheets of beadboard that we're going to put up, but I haven't calculated the number of feet of 1x4s that we need so that we can make a fake coffered ceiling. Should fit the age of the house real nice and look a lot better than that vintage drop ceiling that was in there. And so while you guys are waiting for that, I'm going to go clean up the mess that I just made. And I hope you'll be back next time to see what we can do to start putting the new ceiling up. Don't forget to subscribe and join us next time right here on I Had an Idea.